My boss's 16-year-old daughter, demanded I. Drive her to the mall on my day off. I refused and got fired. 3 months later, I became her new stepmother. I still remember the exact moment my phone rang that Sunday afternoon. I was elbow deep in garden soil, finally planting the herbs I'd bought weeks ago. The caller ID showed my boss, Richard Pern, unusual for a weekend. Amanda, I need you to do something for me, he said, without even a hello. In the background, I could hear his teenage daughter, Kaylee's distinctive whining. Kaylee needs a ride to the mall to meet her friends. I am stuck in a golf game with clients and her mother isn't answering. You live nearby, Parrot, can you take her? This wasn't the first time Richard had crossed professional boundaries. As his executive assistant for 2 years, I'd picked up his dry cleaning, bought birthday gifts for his wife, and even walked his dog when he stayed late at the office. But this was my first weekend off in a month. I am sorry, Richard, but I can't today. I have plans. My plans were self-care and finally getting my life in order after working 60-hour weeks. There was a pause, then I heard him cover the phone and say something to Kaylee. When he returned, his voice had that dangerous softness I'd come to recognize before he exploded at junior staff. Amanda, Kaylee really needs to get to this mall. Her friends are waiting. I am asking you as a favor, I understand, but I am not available today. Maybe Kaylee could use a rideshare app. She's cis 10, he shouted as though I'd suggested she hitchhike with strangers. Look, just do this one thing. I'll make it worth your while in your year-end review. That's when something in me snapped, Richard. I work for you Monday through Friday, often late into the evening. I don't work for Kaylee and I don't work on Sundays. I'm sorry, but no, you'll regret this, he said before hanging up Monday morning. Richard had reported that I was uncooperative and not a team player. By lunchtime, I was packing my desk, fighting back tears of rage and humiliation. 2 weeks later, I landed a better job with a competitor, Purdon, one Richard had been trying to partner with for years. 3 months after that, at a charity gala I was attending with my new boss, I literally bumped into Richard's ex-wife, Diane. We'd met briefly at company events, but never really spoken. This time we ended up chatting for hours. She was brilliant, funny, and surprisingly kind given what I knew about her bitter divorce from Richard. When she asked me to dinner the following week, I said yes without hesitation. Diane was everything. Richard wasn't Parrot, respectful of boundaries, genuinely interested in my life, and unafraid to show vulnerability. When she introduced me to Kaylee, I braced for awkwardness, but the teenager barely remembered me from her father's office. 6 months later, Diane proposed at our small courthouse wedding. Kaylee served as her mother's witness. Richard found out through social media where Kaylee had posted pictures with the caption, "So happy for Mom and Amanda. Number new beginnings." His series of increasingly unhinged texts culminated with, "You planned this from the beginning as revenge." I hadn't, of course, but standing in my kitchen last Sunday watching my stepdaughter struggle to make pancakes while my wife cheered her on, I couldn't help but think about how differently things might have turned out if I'd just given Kaylee that ride. Sometimes, standing your ground leads you exactly where you are meant to be. If you want to hear what happened when Richard showed up drunk at our housewarming party, share this video.